Hey boys and girls, it's Spearfield7. Today we're going to talk a little bit about some final thoughts on Advanced Warfare. I just recently hit Master Prestige. I've been playing a lot of ranked play and clan wars stuff. That's been kind of keeping me on the game. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Starting off with the good, I love the new mobility of this game. It really feels different. It really feels like it's changed the strategy. It's really made games faster, more fun. I love the boost slam. I love being able to do these big flying air gun battles. I really like the variants. I think the variants were a very good idea. I think they're a little overrated. I think people tend to focus on the stats of the guns, and if you've been playing Call of Duty for a number of titles, you're going to notice that those gun stats are often inaccurate. So when people are whining online that the Obsidian Steed has a damage buff, it's kind of like, yeah, sometimes. I mean, it depends on the connection. It depends on a whole lot of other factors. I thought the maps were very well designed in this game. Definitely a step up from Ghost. Ghost was just kind of a clusterfuck. Every single map was very disorganized, very chaotic and crazy. The supply drops were a good idea, but my armory is like always full, and that's becoming annoying where I have to delete guns basically on a daily basis, kind of clean up my armory. The reinforcements are kind of whack. Ultimately, I like the game, and I almost like this game as much as Black Ops 2, and that's where we get into kind of the bad side of this commentary. The lack of variety of weapons kind of bugs me. The pistols are worthless. The marksman rifles are worthless. Basically, the ASM-1 and BAL are your best bets. The AK-12, the IMR, those are pretty good. The KF-5, those are all pretty good, but it just feels like, compared to last Call of Duties, where you could kind of pick a gun and do well with it, it's kind of like, yeah, you're kind of stuck into these patterns of playing with the same guns, because basically with skill-based matchmaking, that's the only way you can do well, is to play with the most overpowered stuff and hope for the best. There were a lot of quirks with this game that I didn't really like or appreciate. I think some of my statistics for like game modes are glitched. Like it says I have an 87 win-loss and like, you know, Hardpoint or whatever, and I know that's not true. I know I've lost games, but it says, you know, you haven't lost a game with Hardpoint. The challenges resetting every time you prestige was super annoying. It's great now that I'm Prestige Master, I can kind of go back and do some of those challenges that I wanted to do, but the fact that they reset every single prestige was kind of pointless, kind of stupid, and didn't really, I mean, I understand why they did it. They did it so that you could play the game more, and go after them, or delay your prestiging, basically like play as long as you need to get a challenge and then prestige to make the game somehow last longer. I don't know, but I didn't really think that there were a lot of very good ideas on that front as far as in comparison to old Call of Duties where this totally worked. Right now, the lag on the PS4 is incomprehensibly bad. Like, I know lag is often a big complaint, and I understand why lag comp exists and why it's beneficial. But when you look at the game, it's not very competitive in that a lot of these people have been playing Call of Duties for a really long time, so people are very good, very accurate, very mobile. They've been able to master the mobility of this game. But when there's such a disparity, when I'm playing kids from Puerto Rico and they're like literally in the kill cam getting 2-second head starts, it just doesn't scream competitive to me. That's kind of what I'm interested in, and I don't like games that sort of, it's kind of a bait and switch. They're kind of like, oh, this is a super competitive game where you can go try hard, have really good games. But those games are fewer and fewer because you're often matched prioritizing the skill over the connection. So I might be playing some kids in Iceland. It's basically, lately, since I've hit Prestige Master, I've been in the weirdest lobbies. I mean, it's a goddamn geography lesson. I've been playing Ecuador, I've been playing Chile, I've been playing Asia, I've been playing Australia, and it's just sort of like, yeah, the what the fuck factor is pretty high there. But the connection's just been really poor, and like I was sort of mentioning earlier about the lack of variety, the balance is just, it's hard to evaluate a gun's effectiveness because when you have host, sometimes you'll go on like a 40-8 tear. And then you'll immediately follow that up when they swap hosts to somebody in South America. You'll immediately go 18-40. Now, does your accuracy and does your skill and does your map awareness and knowledge of the game change? Not that drastically, I would argue. So it's just kind of frustrating that that's the case. Hit detection's really bad. Sometimes I'll like literally unload 12 bullets just with precision accuracy and not win a gunfight, and some kid is double jumping with an ASM, just like hip firing across the map and killing you. So the bullshit deaths in this game have been at an all-time high. I also think that with the new mobility, connection problems and randomness are exacerbated and magnified because when someone's on a 400 millisecond ping and the ASM1 kills in like less than 200, you're going to see a lot of bullshit deaths. You're going to see a lot of people just appearing literally out of nowhere, and by the time you even see them, let alone react to them, you're dead. I've shot so many people from the flank, from behind, and have seen them literally turn around after a half a clip and melt the shit out of me. So I think that with the new mobility, the randomness of the lag has become much more magnified. You really understand that there is a lot of randomness built in the game, which makes it less of a competitive experience and makes it really frustrating for COD veterans who can really notice when this stuff is happening. Lastly, cowardice, and this is kind of the biggest point of the commentary I want to sort of hammer home. And I talked about this a little bit before in a commentary I did on Ghost, and I'm going to post that below so you can check it out. But Ghost birthed a really interesting new type of player, this very defensive, very campy, very stationary, very head glitchy, very bitch-ass type gameplay style. And I argued in that old commentary that I would see this probably in Advanced Warfare, that this would not just be exclusive to Ghost, but that this created a new mental identity for players going forward. And this is absolutely true. Most games that I am in, when the enemy team, there's a player or two that are doing really, really well, it is because they're camping. It is because they're exploiting the map as much as possible. It is because they are basically taking the easiest way out to preserve stats. And I've gone on and on about how stats don't matter. They really don't, and especially with skill-based matchmaking, the game seems to want to force you between a 1 and 1.5 KD. If you have anything higher than that, congratulations, you either have potato internet, you're on another continent, or you are doing something that exploits the game to get those stats. And part of it is in-game. People camp. People sit around waiting for easy kills. People aren't really aggressive with other enemies anymore. And I think that's really what hurts in the long run the most, is people really, really are trying to preserve those stats, and they're doing whatever's possible. And so the gameplay, I think, is in general, it's not bad enough that the lag is crippling the game, but I would say the player base is hugely flawed right now. People just don't play the objective. They do whatever they can to keep a high KD, when at the end of the day, I would rather have a 1.0 KD where I played aggressively, where I didn't really worry about dying, than somebody who gets a 2 or a 3 KD from not really moving and not really playing the game as it was intended or designed to do. But anyways, these are just some final thoughts. I've been playing ranked play. I'm up in the Master Division, Master Prestige. I'm working on a Spearfield 7 Master Prestige montage that's going to drop here when I can put it together. I have some clips lying around that I'd love to share. But anyways, yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think of this. And if you liked the video, please like and subscribe and stay tuned for future content. The Havoc DLC hasn't dropped here yet, but I'm going to be having videos of that, and Exo Zombies, and all sorts of other fun coming up soon. But anyways, until next time, this is Spearfield 7 saying see you later.